And then he just looks at me and he starts crying. I call my dad, and I remember the first thing that he says when he picks up the phone. I was like, hey, I didn't even call him dad, right? I called him by his name. And I was like, Bruce. I was like, and then he's like, who's this? So immediately I got mad. Like, you can't even recognize your own son's voice. And then the next thing he said, I told him, it's Johnny, your son. The next thing he says, he follows it up with, I don't have any money. And so I got pissed. And I wanted to say, like, I don't need your money, right? But I was like, look, Dad, I don't need your money, but I needed to meet with you. I have to talk to you about something. And then he was kind of like shocked too. And he's like, okay, what about? And I was like, it's just something really important for me. I hope you can meet. It's gonna be at this location. So we went to go eat Vietnamese noodle soup. It's called pho. And we get there in my old neighborhood in Alhambra. And I remember it was awkward. He gets there before me. So I get there, he's sitting there, and I'm just like, it was tense. I'm getting cold sweats. I remember like feeling just very nervous, actually. And I sit down, and my dad won't look me in my face, and I won't look him in his eyes either. It was just like awkward looking to the side. And I just muster up the courage, and I go, look, Dad, I called you here today because I wanted to say I'm sorry. And then he kind of was like shocked. And I'm sorry for being a gang member. I'm sorry for ruining your dream. You came to the States for an American dream. I obviously didn't help you. I probably made it worse. I'm sorry that I disrespected you in any way. I'm sorry that I, went to prison, wasn't able to help you, and you didn't speak a lick of English, so it was probably got taken advantage of. And then he just looks at me and he starts crying. And I was like, that's the first time I see my dad cry. And then he goes, no, son, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being a bad father. I'm sorry. I always wanted to be close to you, but I'm sorry that the drinking, and because I couldn't handle that, broke the family apart. We just got up and we hugged each other. And it was very, very beautiful in that moment. Two grown men with this wall of resentment just crushed in a matter of minutes, And so that's really what changed my life completely.